The internet couldn't stay quiet after the news broke, and almost everyone had something to say, most of it harsh, especially when it came to Aaron. People didn't just criticize him, they were angry. A petition started online demanding Aaron own up to what he did and offer a sincere apology to Tiana. It wasn't just a few people either. Within a matter of days, tens of thousands of people had already signed it. The reason the backlash hit so hard was simple. This wasn't just some random woman in the news. This was Teyana Taylor, a respected artist, a mother, a woman known for showing love openly and embracing her emotions without shame. She had built a life in the public eye by being real, by being strong yet soft, by letting people see her joy and her pain. So when people saw her go through this, when they saw her be hurt so deeply yet again, it felt personal to so many. It wasn't just about betrayal, it was about watching someone so admired be wounded by someone who couldn't even bother to show up when it mattered most. But the most shocking part, Aaron didn't say a word. Not one post on Instagram, not one interview, not even a stiff rehearsed video where he pretends to be sorry. Nothing, just silence. And not the kind of silence that feels respectful or reflective. This was the kind of silence that feels cold and uncaring. The kind that makes you feel invisible. While the world was waiting for him to take some form of accountability, to show even a sliver of regret or maturity, he offered the public nothing. Days passed, then a week, then two. Finally, there was a bland little statement from someone on his team that got buried in a tabloid article. It read, "Aaron respects Tiana and wishes her and the child well, but is choosing to stay private during this deeply personal time." That was it. No apology. No mention of how he abandoned her during her pregnancy. No explanation for missing the hospital. Just vague, empty words that meant absolutely nothing. On the other hand, Tiana didn't release a statement either. But she didn't need to. Her silence said more than his ever could. Without a single word, she erased him from her social media like he never existed. Every photo, every memory, every moment they shared was gone within hours. She unfollowed him quietly. Her stories, once full of excitement and little updates about the baby, suddenly went dark. And while her management team remained quiet, sources close to her let it be known she had drawn a clear line. One of her close friends shared that he had the chance to show up, and he didn't. And now, Tiana was doing the only thing she could, protecting her peace. That baby, her baby was her world now. And unless Aaron made serious, legally binding steps, he wouldn't be a part of it. But perhaps the part that hurt the most wasn't the betrayal itself, it was the silence. Aaron didn't fight back, didn't argue, didn't try to win her back or even defend himself. He didn't bring flowers, didn't show up at her door, didn't even call. He simply vanished. And sometimes that kind of absence, that heavy, hollow quiet, cuts more deeply than any harsh word ever could. Because it doesn't just show distance, it shows indifference. And for someone you once shared a life with, nothing feels more painful than being ignored like you never mattered at all. In the weeks after the baby was born, Tiana began to heal, but it wasn't easy. Slowly, gently, she started picking up the pieces. Her posts became fewer, her smile softer, her tone quieter. Friends noticed that she looked different, not just physically, but emotionally, like someone trying to remember what happiness feels. Like, they said, the sadness didn't hit her all at once. It crept in slowly, during the quiet moments while feeding her baby in the middle of the night, folding those tiny clothes, rocking her child to sleep with tears falling silently down her face. She whispered more than once, "How did I not see it coming?" But even in her confusion and pain, she never gave up. Each day, her strength grew a little more. She never let heartbreak destroy her. She let it teach her. She let it shape her into someone even stronger. And that's who she's always been, a fighter, a woman who turns pain into power, a mother who rises, no matter how heavy the fall. Even though this chapter of her life started with heartache, it revealed something so beautiful and powerful: the strength of a woman who refuses to crumble, the quiet courage of a mother who decides her child's peace matters more than anything else. It reminded everyone that when someone walks away at the worst possible moment, your real strength comes from learning how to stand alone. Aaron may have walked away. He may have refused to take any responsibility. But Tiana, she didn't wait for him to come back. She didn't hope for a sorry. She picked up the pen, signed her name next to her babies, and kept moving forward, full of love, full of fire. Because when a man steps back, a real woman steps forward, and that's exactly what she did. The world was watching, and even though Aaron never said a word, his silence told the whole story. It's honestly sad how lies spread faster than the truth these days. People seem to believe gossip over facts, and in situations like this one between Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert, that really shows. Tiana recently made it clear that Iman isn't clueless. He knows the truth and what really happened behind closed doors. But still, rumors and wild stories keep popping up, especially from random people online who claim they know the inside scoop. One of the most talked about stories came from a TikToker who claimed to receive a tip from someone who used to work with Tiana. The woman didn't name Tiana or Iman directly, but she described a popular female singer married to a former NBA player. According to her, the husband cheated repeatedly, and the wife ended up emotionally devastated. The story even claimed the woman had to cancel her concert because she ended up in the hospital after taking too much nose candy, a cruel and baseless accusation suggesting drug use. The video went viral, and everyone quickly assumed it was about Tiana and Iman. Tiana wasn't having it. She immediately responded on Instagram, denying the entire story. She called the person who submitted the story and the one who acted it out fools, and warned them to be prepared for legal action. She didn't hold back, saying nobody could push her to do drugs or take herself out of this world, and if anything ever happened to Iman, she'd respectfully lay him to rest herself before letting things get to that level. Her message was loud and clear. She wasn't going to let people lie on her name without standing up for herself. Despite everything, one thing nobody can deny is that Tiana really tried to protect Iman and their marriage for a long time. She defended him countless times, even when it would have been easier to stay quiet. Last year, one of Iman's side chicks posted a video where you could clearly hear his voice in the background. She also uploaded a picture that made it obvious she was at Iman's place, and then later posted a selfie wearing one of Iman's chains. The proof was right there. Still, Tiana came to his defense, saying they had already separated and had been for a while. She insisted that cheating wasn't one of the reasons they split up and that they were still a great team when it came to co-parenting their daughters. The only reason she even spoke out at that point was because false stories were spiraling out of control. But when the court hearings started during their divorce process, Iman switched up. Since he couldn't deny the cheating, he tried to flip the narrative. He told the judge that Tiana had been physically abusive toward him. He brought up an incident where, according to him, she attacked him while he was downstairs playing video games with headphones on. He claimed he used a calming technique he learned from working with special needs kids to hold her down, and asked for help from his siblings. It sounded like he was trying to build a case to paint her as the aggressor. Unfortunately for him, things didn't go as he hoped. He had asked for a huge chunk of Tiana's earnings, including music royalties from before they even met. He also wanted a reduction in child support payments, claiming that he made far less money than she did. But the judge wasn't convinced. In fact, the ruling leaned heavily in Tiana's favor. Iman was ordered to pay a one-time settlement, reportedly in the seven-figure range. On top of that, he has to continue paying $8,000 per month in child support and cover the full costs of private school tuition for both of their daughters, Junie and Rue. Despite all that, Iman was still allowed to keep several of his assets. These include his Schumacher investments, a condo in Miami, and 2 houses in South Georgia and Decatur. Meanwhile, Tiana retained full ownership